Hi there, my name is Felix Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So we're going to be asking a question in this video, which I think is, I mean, it shouldn't be a question. Honestly, it shouldn't be a question, but it's a darn interesting one. It was posited by Philip Morris, the archivist. I think it was the writer, Philip Morris on Twitter, whose Twitter I've been following, and I'm really enjoying it right now. People's responses to him are really weird, are really strange. I mean, from my perception, they seem a bit strange. They just seem a bit odd. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Can I ask you guys? Can you hit the subscribe button? Thank you very much. I'm all tingly and happy when people subscribe. Unless you hate my videos, in that case, your subscription makes me feel terrible. So yeah, hit that. In fact, I have to say, a little aside, anybody who really can't stand the stuff I say on my videos, you're really going to want to subscribe. You're going to want to subscribe so you can hear all the terrible things I'm going to say, all the blasphemies, all the unmentionable mentions. You're going to want to see, you're going to want to put them down, and you're going to want to talk about them on your Twitter, but then you're going to want to block me so I don't hear about it and make fun of you. That's so fun. So you're going to want to subscribe for that. If you are another type of person who is cursed with what I like to call sanity and reason, if you want to subscribe to. Why do you want to subscribe? Well, firstly, you make a rabbi happy. How often can you do that? Listen. Finding rabbis, I imagine they're pretty hard if you're not a Jewy person, we're hard to come by. But yeah, I've got the search for the rabbi, taken out of the equation. All you do is hit the subscribe button, and you've done it. You made Rabbi happy, but not only that, you get a conduit to my scintillating, and I have to say, I don't think I can use any other, my scintillating commentary on life, the universe, and everything. I'm thinking about doing some political videos when, because the election's coming up, and listen, I have my political views. I lean, to the right. I think I'm like right of center on most issues, but I'm like left or center on some as well. But like, look, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's very funny. That's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's very funny on both sides. I think I will be taking the piss out of everyone. But right now, I only got stuff about, I saw this video of Joe Biden today, and it made me laugh. It just made me laugh so much. But I can't, I don't want to attack one side. I don't want to make fun of one side. And it's not going to be long before the other side says something stupid that I can, roundly laugh at, even though I do basically support the other side. But anyway, there we go. So that's just some my rant. So yes, I'm babbling. Just so hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. If you subscribe, of course, you can enter my weekly competitions. This week's a good one, and it's a very popular prize. It is a Judgde Dredd graphic novel, Judgde Dredd America, absolute seminal Judgde Dredd graphic novel. If you never read Judgde Dredd, this is a really good hardback graphic novel that gives you like a real jumping on point and insight into the Judgde Dredd world. Great violence, great action, and like a really kind of interesting plot that goes in directions that does surprise you. So what you need to do to win that is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag democracy now. That is a good thing. Also check the video notes. There's a Sapphire and Steel story for you to download. Oh, I got a comment. Somebody said it wasn't working. Give it a try. If it's not working, get in contact with me. I'm going to look into that after I finish making this video. Fine. Okay. So let's ask the question. The question that was asked by Philip Morris. Is it okay to hold vastly different political and cultural views and still be a Doctor Who fan? Well, let's say it another way. Can Doctor Who fans hold vastly different political and cultural views? So, should be, yeah. It should be, yeah. Oh, no, listen, I'm going to give you a story that kind of freaked me out when I was much younger. This will be in the, I'm guessing, late 80s. Probably, probably be, what was it, 87 maybe? It could be that first Sylvester McCoy year, or maybe the second year. Yeah. By the way, somebody totally spoiled for me that the Emperor Dalek was Davros, which I guess I just spoiled for you as well. But yeah, at least my spoiling was 30 years old. In Remembrance of the Daleks, I was lining up to get signatures. But yeah, so at that convention, I was chatting with a guy who was in a William Hartnell. Cosplay outfit. We didn't call it cosplay back then. Dress up. I don't know what we called it back then. and yeah, we're just chatting. I wasn't as Jewy as I am now. I wasn't a rabbi. I wasn't even religious back then. And yeah, and you say, who were we talking about? Eichmann, like some of the one of the very notorious National Socialists from Germany in the 1930s. They because I can't say the name of them. Who was it? Is it Eichmann, who was captured by Israel, put on trial, and has been rotting in prison at that point for a very long time. And he just said, well, he's an old man, they should let him out now. Now, for me, from my Jewy upbringing, yeah, I wasn't religious, but yeah, I'm still kind of Jew. Kind of reminds me, by the way, this is a total aside. When I went to Versailles, it was a number of years ago with my kids. It was a few years ago. They were talking about how when the revolution came, they took everything from Versailles and they've been trying to get it back, and it's been in the Louvre, a lot of it. So I'm like saying, but if the revolutionaries, wanted to take away everything from Versailles and the castle or the palace or however you want to call it in France, yeah, why didn't they just burn it down? And the tour guide looked at me like she couldn't comprehend what I was saying. And then she goes, they were still French. So yeah, I wasn't religious, but I was still Jewish. So that was an outlook. It blew my freaking mind. Like, I was like, what? And that I think is the broadness of the spectrum of Doctor Who, or at least that should be the broadness of the spectrum of Doctor Who. So I think, people ask us like, why do we hate this Doctor Who? And they project upon, me and people who hate it, and probably you too, okay? Why do we hate this Doctor Who? And they project upon it, it's like, the only reason you could possibly hate it is because Jodie's a woman, or there has an agenda in it, which they then deny it exists. Whatever, okay, fine. I'm pretty sure most of us, me, and I think most of you out there watching, would have been, if we were skittish. I was slightly, I assumed it was going to be okay. I was skittish for the first 10 seconds after the reveal. Oh, really? It's political correctness gone mad. Then I went, no, see, pull yourself together. Chris Chibnall. I'm joking. This was my actual genuine thought. Okay, this is how wrong I was. I said, Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are seasoned professionals. They certainly wouldn't piss away the opportunity of it was a big deal having the first woman to play the role. That society had reached a point where culturally, I think in the 80s it would have been much harder for a woman to play the role, because culturally it was like having a mad professor was just a like a masculine role, right? And it was the only, and so society has changed. So I thought they wouldn't piss it away, and oh my God, how wrong was I? But I think most people would have been run over by just doing good Doctor Who, by doing good, fun, entertaining Doctor Who, and it doesn't mean you don't have to display your political bent. Like Doctor Who has always done that. But here's the thing. I would say Doctor Who right now is not made for anybody with even close to centralist cultural or political opinions. It's made for people who have very, very extremist cultural and political opinions. People who feel that it's a bigoted assault to say that they feel that biological women are biological women, or biological men are biological men. They feel, and that is an extremist view. That is an extremist. And again, listen, if you're somebody who was a trans person, God bless you. I have nothing against you whatsoever. I really genuinely do. I will endeavor to gender you any way you like, because I just like to be polite. I prefer to be polite. I think it's better. Yeah, like why? I mean, if there was if they were insisting that I agree with something that I don't agree with, but just listen, they're living their life fine. What do I care? But it's made for people with extremist views that say, if you feel there are, generally speaking, for human being two and only two genders, you're evil. That's an extremist view. If you're somebody who feels that the current president of the United States, or the government in England, or the 2016 election in England for Brexit are the worst things ever, the absolute worst things in the world, this Doctor Who is for you. If you're somebody who likes who thinks Greta Thunberg is a stunning and brave leader, this Doctor Who's for you. But again, these are all extremist nutball positions. I don't see them being, in terms of being like sane in any way. I don't see them being any any less bonkers than the extreme right wing of culture and politics. And interesting enough, they do kind of seg on. They do agree. The extreme left wings and the extreme right wings, they agree on a lot. Firstly, they agree they don't like Jews. Both they are just like, fine. We hate anybody who disagrees. But what we really hate, what we really don't like, is Jews. Okay, they both agree on that. They both agree that segregation is a great thing and we should have more of it, right? But I just if somebody was saying, I'm sure you've seen Django Unchained. If you haven't seen Django Unchained, freaking awesome movie. You should go and watch it. Leonardo DiCaprio has one of the, I would say, best racist speeches I've ever heard in my life, which is, he pulls out a skull of a black person, and he points to like these two dimples in there that show the brain is whatever. It was just okay. It was the crazy science that racists believe in, right? It was and they do. And it was like, listen to it. It was absolutely insane. But this is the sort of thing, these bonkers people believe. But I think honestly, the crazy people on the right wings of society are less dangerous. Even though they will kill me too, but are less dangerous than people on the left wings. Why? Because the people on the left wing there's much more social acceptability for it. There's much people are like, yeah, sure, and people are acting like it's normal. People are acting like it's normal to destroy somebody's life because again, like for example, they feel like having a penis makes you intrinsically male. So like, that doesn't seem to be an extremist point of view to me. It does seem to be an extremist point of view to say that you can't say it. So so should Doctor Who be enjoyed by is it okay to hold vastly different cultural and political views and still be a fan of Doctor Who? Is it okay? That is what Doctor Who is. That is what Doctor Who is. There's a recent Big Finish release with starring Colin Baker called Scorched Earth, which I actually really like. It was set right at the end of World War II and dealt with like the reprisals against the National Socialists of Germany, in France. And I really liked the story. It was clever. It did stuff. It gave me interesting to think about. But something that I thought was good. It showed that the defeated National Socialists of Germany, that it didn't present them as a monolith, as like two-dimensional. It presented them as three-dimensional people, and there was good and bad in everyone, which I love. I love because I just think that's pure, total truth. And I think that's what Doctor Who does, and that's what Doctor Who does very well. And I think that's why Big Finish, generally speaking, even though they've been a bit wobbly of late, Big Finish. Listen. I would say avoid Stranded and the last Missy set if you're somebody who is sensitive to to having to hear these extremist, insane left wing depth in cultural and political points of view. I think those two are probably ones to avoid. Still Missy one. I always enjoy hearing Michelle Gomez and who was it plays meddling monk, Rufus Hound. I really love his meddling monk. I think it's great. But, those are two. But generally speaking, I think that's what Big Finish does very well. They do Doctor Who very, very well. I can't wait till the David Tennant, Tom Baker release comes out. I think that's going to be really good. I'm really excited for that. So they do Doctor Who very well. Conversely, I don't think the current era of Doctor Who does Doctor Who very well, because while Big Finish was showing a national social, one of the Yahtzees, showing them in a positive light, showing how they're real people. I don't think that the current era of Doctor Who could possibly do that for either somebody who supports the government or voted for the government in the UK, or somebody who supports or voted for the presidency in the US. They wouldn't do it. But and the people they always compare them to, if you vote for this person, you're a Yahtzee. But the actual Yahtzees, they're like, oh well, they're not so bad. You put a red hat on. Doctor Who should be enjoyed by people And listen, I would think, people of all cultural and political outlooks. I really, truly believe that. The only people who I think really shouldn't be liking Doctor Who are the people on the extremes, the extreme bonkers people, which is who they're making it for right now. They're making it for people with extremist views. And again, extremist views in one direction, extremist views in another direction. I don't really see a big difference. I see them being equally crazy. So I think that is the biggest indictment for the current era of Doctor Who. The thing we said, Doctor Who is a show for everyone. It used to be anyway, not anymore. And people go, well, what's it? You don't like basic kindness? No. Again. The bottom line is this: if you're somebody who is in the majority of the population and supports any of the victories of the elections over the last 4 years in either the UK or the US, if you're there, Doctor Who is clearly a show that hates you, and thinks you're a terrible, evil person. But if you're somebody who has extremist views that says, let's destroy society. Let's get rid of every piece of social order, the police, borders, firemen. Who knows what, destroy society, which I think is an extremist point of view. I think if you're that, you are going to like this Doctor Who. So that is what I think the fundamental failure of this era of Doctor Who. And it was a great question. Thank you to Philip Morris for asking it. I am Philip Morris, by the way, has been championing Anthony Horowitz to be a showrunner, and I've been looking into him. It's a really good idea. Philip Hinchcliffe says he says that Anthony Horowitz has done a bunch of TV and book work. He did the Alex Rider says. So for you, my dear viewers, I am going to get in contact with with Anthony Horowitz today. Maybe or Horowitz sounds a bit Jewy, really. Maybe I can pull the Rabbi card. I'm going to get in contact with him, and I'd love to get him on the channel and just have a chat. About what he thinks about Doctor Who. We'll talk about his ideas of Doctor Who, looking at the past and what he would do with it. In the future, I would love to hear. And honestly, even if it doesn't happen, I think that's the most stuff that's happening in entertainment right now. I read with interest in SFX magazine recently. Who was it? Matthew. Oh, what's his name? The guy from Life on Mars, talking about his ideas to do another finishing series of Life on Mars and. Ashes to Ashes to pull it all together and do a real epilogue to it, and it sounded great, but all it is just great. It's just ideas. So I think that's as hearing Anthony Horowitz's ideas is as valid as anybody else's, and I do believe the BBC is very worried about Doctor Who. They're not what they know. They love the product they're putting out. They love Jodie Whittaker and Doctor Who. They love that it appeals to this extremist, crazy people, and it's alienating the people who aren't. Who aren't. They love it because they think that those extremist, crazy people are normal, but they are bonkers. So they love it, and that's what I mean by this. It's editorially strong. They really, really love it to death. But but the only thing they don't like about it, the only thing that's freaking them out is that we don't like it. The audience doesn't like it. And I think they believe people like me, like YouTubers, not me. There's tons of bigger. They believe that YouTubers are acting as sheepdogs to guide people away. But honestly, there's equal amount of pro channels, aren't they? I think I don't know. But I think people just generally come up with insane ideas. That means that they have, it's not their fault, right? It's not their fault. But they basically blame us. They blame us for the failure of Doctor Who, for not liking their stunning and brave nonsense that they keep bilging out to us. So there you go. So the question is, again, by Philip Morris, can Doctor Who fans or hold vastly different cultural and political views? Absolutely, that's what they should do. That's what Doctor Who always excelled at. Again, if you look at, I think most people who would vote for Margaret Thatcher, for example, in the 80s, didn't have a problem with Happiness Patrol, which was clearly taking the piss out of her, because it was a good story. Same thing with the miners in the 70s, with the Peloton stories, or the entering the EU, which is another Peloton story. You can have political ideas that you don't agree with and still enjoy the show. But as long as the show doesn't hate you for holding those political ideas, and the show clearly hates you, because I think the people making it hate you, and I think the people in charge of the BBC also hate you. And I'm saying absolute, real, genuine hatred because you don't share their social political ideas. So there you are. Great question. I'm glad somebody asked it, and I was very happy to answer. My name is Felix Beckin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.